correspondent Brian Seltzer failing to ask his Sunday guest Ann Applebaum about both of their dismissals of the Hunter Biden story during a disinformation forum last week.
Do you think the media acted inappropriately when they instantly dismissed Hunter Biden's laptop as Russian disinformation?
My problem with Hunter Biden's laptop is I think it's totally irrelevant.
Too bad it's time for lunch. I think you're describing a different channel than the one that I watch.
Joe Concha is here. So, Joe, Brian Seltzer had Ann Applebaum on his show yesterday and didn't ask her about the one newsworthy moment that she had during this forum. Why is that?
Why is that, I wonder? Well, if teaching a class on media bias, we would put this example at the top of the syllabus under the section of sin of omission. The media correspondent here for CNN, whose initials, not so ironically, are BS, continues to embarrass himself on a breathtaking scale. So let's go through the student's points. Christopher Phillips was his name, by the way, is his name, in his question to BS one by one. He said that traditional media, so that's CNN, NBC, ABC, CBS, Washington Post, New York Times, he said they pushed Russia collusion in that hoax. That's correct. He said they pushed the Jussie Smollett hoax. That is correct. He said they smeared Justice Kavanaugh as a rapist. That is correct. He said that they smeared Nicholas Sandmann as a white supremacist. That is correct. He said they dismissed the Hunter Biden laptop affair as pure Russian disinformation. Yes, that is correct. And when Ann Applebaum of The Atlantic said that, okay, Hunter Biden and that laptop and that story is completely irrelevant, it shows you how much in a bubble many of these folks are as far as only talking to each other and not talking to the American people, where this is absolutely a story when you consider that we have emails, we have bank statements, we have transactions, we have all of these things happening with the president's son that may involve the president of the United States in regards to business being done in Russia and China, which at last check are our adversaries. And we all know that if this was Donald Trump Jr. or Jared Kushner, this would be a 24/7 narrative in Ann Applebaum's and BS's world. But here we are, pretending like it doesn't exist. It's quite remarkable, Carly and Todd.
But Joe, at next year's conference, they'll be admitting fault on the Hunter Biden story, and they'll be denying fault on another story that develops over the course of this year. You will see it. Meantime, Joe, Elon Musk laughing off a Washington Post op-ed that says, and I quote, Elon Musk's version of free speech will be bad for Twitter. Quote, we need regulation of social media platforms to prevent rich people from controlling our channels of communication. Joe, does the Post not know who owns them?
Quite remarkable, right? I believe that's Jeff Bezos, right? When you talk about number one and number two, as far as guys that have a lot of money, all right, Todd, you're not one, I'm not one. We have some, but not like those guys, right? Billions upon billions. Yeah, that's quite remarkable. And of course, the Washington Post feels this way, by the way. Their mantra is democracy dies in darkness. And for them to advocate the way Twitter has conducted itself in terms of censorship, in terms of suppression, in terms of targeting conservatives, is precisely on brand. And they know that Elon Musk, who calls himself a free speech absolutionist, is a huge threat to that. So it's very interesting that he decided that he's not going to join the board of directors because that would limit his stake in Twitter. I think he wants to take it over outright. And if he does that, he'll actually probably allow it to be the platform it's supposed to be, a platform for everybody without targeting certain people and censoring certain people and banning certain people. Wow, what a concept.
Yeah, that's so interesting. I was wondering what you were thinking about why Elon Musk decided not to sit on that board. So what you're saying is that people who do want changes, who do want to see changes on Twitter, there is still hope there.
Oh, there's hope, absolutely. Particularly that edit button, Carly. I don't see you on Twitter very much. It's probably smart. Todd and I are on there a little bit more. But yeah, you need that edit button because once you send that out, boy, you can't unring the bell. So I need that edit button. And more importantly, I just would like to see Donald Trump back on there if Vladimir Putin is allowed on Twitter and the Ayatollah Khomeini from Iran is on Twitter and the Taliban is on Twitter. I'm pretty sure then you have to be consistent in these matters, allow everybody on Twitter, and let people decide what they want to read and what they don't want to read.
You know what I read on Twitter? Joe Concha's hot golf takes. He was great on the Masters. He was all over tweeting.
That's what Twitter's like. That's the good part of Twitter. It's like those fun conversations. But you're right. I've cut back because it's a lovely place.
Joey Concha,
I like positivity in my life. Thanks, Jeff.
UK Prime Minister.